Hello everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 294. I'm Andrew, and if you are watching the... Yeah, Jared has your own... You have your own audio mixing. Lovely. So, if you're watching the video version of this podcast, you will notice that the chat is next to me. That is because YouTube is bad at a lot of elements of its job, and one of them is the live chat replay feature, which does not work on my channel for whatever reason. I thought it might be because I edit the videos. I cut out the first couple of minutes where I'm making sure it's streaming correctly and I'm adjusting the sound and things like that. So I thought maybe the live chat replay just breaks if you edit the video. No, it doesn't work prior to editing the video. It's, for me, never worked. There's a setting for a live chat replay. It's set. Unless there is something else I have to do somewhere else, I don't know what that is. So, until that starts working, we'll just do what we do on the Sunday streams and include the chat as part of the video. If you're not a video person, I'll continue copying the chat log, unless I forget, which has happened a couple of times. I'll continue copying the chat log into the text of the audio version that is hosted over on KNGI. So, hello Chicago. So, about a month ago, I learned that my Nintendo Wii broke. But broke in a pretty specific way. It was the AV output on it that broke. So I went to get it fixed. Realized that would cost like $170, $180, something like that. And so I just bought a refurbished unit for $70. I found out shortly thereafter that a friend of mine had an extra Wii that he was willing to give me. I just picked that up today, which is good because I need to return the refurb that I bought. I can only return that up till July 8th, so we were getting really close. But anyway, got a brand new Wii, and so far it works. I just need to transfer all the saves off of my old Wii and onto this one. So, yay, new Wii. Now I can finish playing Kirby Legend Superstar Return to Dreamland. That's what it is. I can play Kirby Return to Dreamland. And GameCube games, because my sister, I gifted my GameCube so she could play Animal Crossing. Granted, she has the Switch version now, which is called New Horizons, I think. So she probably doesn't play the old GameCube one anymore. I could probably just, get it back. But, let's see. So that's nice. I just need to fix everything up, return the refurb, and hey, save myself $70. Yay! Of course, I just spent over $700 on renewing my car insurance for a further 6 months for a car that I don't drive very much, which is kind of annoying. One might assume that car insurance rates might be influenced by how much the car is actually driven. If you drive it a lot, you are at more risk of crashing into something or being hit by something else. Nope. You either operate the vehicle or you don't, at least with the insurance companies I'm familiar with. Chicago says I just beat Kirby Return to Dreamland. Glad I saw you playing it. It was fun. Yeah, it is fun. I'd like to finish that game. I think I'm only like halfway through it. But now I have a new Wii, and it's I can view the lovely Wii images and all 480p's, which is wonderful. So, of course, I've got an enormous backlog of games, stuff I'm working on right now. And one of the games I'm playing right now is a game that I showed off on the Sunday stream, again, about a month ago. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Sharp FE. So I first played that like 6 or 7 years ago, and then I got a decent, about 40 hours into the game or so. I was in chapter 4 somewhere, out of, I don't know how long the game is. But I started it over for the stream, and then I continued playing it, and I'm like 60 hours in. I'm in like chapter 5 now. Really enjoying that game. It's a really fun RPG. Not perfect, but it does a lot of things really well. One of the things that I really like that this game does is it does that that old RPG canard of you have more people in your party than can be in an active battle at one time, right? So you can only have 3 or 4 party members on the field at one time beating up monsters, but you've got like 8 people in your total party, so you have to shuffle people around into your active party while everyone else just sits on their thumbs and just cheers you on or something. And some games throw you a bone, and your characters who are not in the active party will earn experience also. Sometimes not as much, but really the biggest problem for me is it breaks immersion, because very few games give an in-universe reason for why everyone isn't out on the field kicking ass. It's one of the reasons I like The Last Story so much. One of the Rainfall games from 2011, 2012. That's another game where you have 3 or 4 people in your active party, but you have an entire team of like 7 or 8 people. But there's always a story reason why the characters in your party are there and why the ones who aren't there aren't there. They're usually just off doing something else. It's a wonderful way to, from a development standpoint, it's a way to really craft encounters. It's like, okay, we know which members you're going to have in your party here, so we can intelligently craft the encounters to present you with interesting challenges. And it also makes sure that the player uses a wide variety of characters in different matchups. Because some of us, left to our own devices, will pick the best characters and just, min-max the hell out of them, and everyone else gets left in the dirt. And you just have this, you only use the same 3 or 4 characters through the entire game. Me personally, I'm generally pretty good about swapping, unless I don't like one particular character, I suppose, but I'm generally pretty good about keeping all of my characters at the same level, swapping them in and just using different characters. Rarely will I... Who's in my party is rarely dictated by who I feel I need, and it's more who's the lowest level right now. Everyone's level 104 except Jimmy. Jimmy's at level 99. Jimmy, get your ass in the party. Get on our level, Jimmy. Exile, hello. Exile says, everyone, get a hit on this enemy. Friendship is the second pair of fingerprints. Anime Momo, hello. Got a job already, guys. Oh, congratulations. Well done indeed. What was I talking about? Tokyo Mirage Sessions. So in Tokyo Mirage Sessions, you can only have 3 active characters in a fight at the same time. But, as with many RPGs, you have 6 or 7 people in your main party. The lovely thing about Tokyo Mirage Sessions is the characters who are not in your active party still participate in the battle. You saw this, if you saw the Sunday stream, you saw this a little bit. If one character attacks an enemy with a art or spell or skill, depending on which game you're playing. The lingo changes. Special attack, right? If one character attacks an enemy with a special attack that the enemy is weak to, then another character in the active party will follow up with a chain attack. It's called a session attack in this. So if an enemy's weak to fire and you do a fire attack, then someone else may follow up with an ice attack or a lance attack or a bow attack or something, and it may keep going down the line, right? Later in the game, you get the ability to people who are not in the main party to start joining in. So you may cast a fire spell, and then someone who's not even in the party may just jump in and smack someone with an axe. Even later in the game, you get, I forget what it's called, duet attacks or duo attacks, duet sessions, something, where occasionally you will have the option to call on two characters to perform a special move or summon or big uber attack. And these characters may or may not be in your active party. So, in this way, Tokyo Mirage Sessions makes it feel more like everyone is on the team and actively participating, even those who are not in your active party at that time. Plus, because the non-active party members are constantly jumping in with attacks, they're constantly gaining EXP, and you can gain character EXP and your weapon levels up separately. And as your weapon levels up, you get new attacks and stuff. So you're constantly leveling up all of the characters and weapons because everyone's participating. There may only be room on the battlefield or the stage for 3 people plus however many enemies, but the 3 or 4 other people in your party aren't just sitting on their asses. Except Minamori, or whatever her name is. I don't think I have if she's not in my active party, she rarely ever steps in. I must just not have the right session attacks for her. What is her name? I'm actually playing it right now. Let me look. What is her name? Mamori. Oh, I somehow butchered her name by slamming both of them together. So, Mamori Minamoto is her name. So, Mamori. Get off your ass, Mamori! Really enjoying the game. It's a lot of fun. Some of the cutscene character dialogue things are a bit static and run a little long. It's just basic 2 shots of 2 characters yapping at each other, and there's very minimal animation, so it's not as interesting. So that can drag a little bit. The pacing of the game can be a little slow and weird at times, but overall, it's just so flashy and fun. I really love the battle system of the game. And again, I absolutely adore the fact that the people who are not in my active party feel like they're actually there with me and helping. I always had this joke, I think it was Dragon Quest IV. The first game, it's just you against the world. Second game, I think you have 3 people. Third game, I think you have 3 people. In the fourth game, I think you get a party of up to 9. And by the time you're in Chapter 5, you get like a wagon. You've got like 4 or 5 people in your wagon because you can only have 4 people in the main party at one time. And they're just sitting. My mom and I would always joke, 20, 30 years ago when we played this, we'd always joke, people just sitting in the, all right, you have fun in the dungeon, we're just going to roast marshmallows or something. They're just hanging out in the wagon, not helping at all. It's always weird. I mean, it's a game balance thing, but it's always weird when you have a bunch of people in your party who are just, it wouldn't be fair, wouldn't be fair if we pitched it, 4, rule of 4, right? It's Monster Hunter rules. You can only have 4 people in a party. Oh, we could just bring the entire town in and bum rush. That sounds terrible. Bum rush the Great Jaggy or something like that. But how fair would that be? I don't know. It'd be effective. I don't know about fair. Chicago says that's awesome. Do they also get XP for attacking even though they're not in the active party? They do, yes. So if they're part of a session attack or a chain attack where the non-active party members will jump in from the sidelines and smack something in the head, they get both character EXP and weapon EXP. So it's a great way to it really lessens what could be a really obnoxious grind, because this is a game where you can create a lot of different weapons, which is good because every weapon has like 4 skills. So the more you use the weapon, the more skills you obtain. And if you get a skill you already have, the skills combine to power themselves up, either becoming stronger or not cost as many magic points. It's a really fun system. It's a really cool game. I'm really enjoying it. So it's on this. I'm playing the uncensored version. I hacked my Wii U to run off. So basically, what happened was I own the game. I own it legally. I paid for it with my own monies, but I hacked my Wii U and downloaded all the data off of the disc, and then patched the files with files that were pulled from the original Japanese version, and then using a kernel exploit on the Wii U, I'm running it off of an SD card instead of off of the disc, which means the game does not run very well. Loading into some areas can take like a minute and a half. Sometimes there's some sound skips, but the Wii U was, the Wii U is not meant to run games off an SD card, so there's some trade-off. Jared says, or pick the worst one, cough Josette. Josette needs to get on everyone's level. And I like Josette. I especially like her her interactions with Estelle, but in Trails the Third, which we're playing now, we have not recruited Estelle yet. She's apparently still stuck in a glowing yellow rock somewhere. We have Joshua, though, in all his whiffing glory. Anyway, Tokyo Mirage Sessions was released for the Switch. I believe it includes the DLC for the game, which was like a beach episode or something like that. It retains the silly changes they made for localization, which are just weird. I mean, for example, your characters work for a talent agency, which means they do singing and acting and modeling and stuff. And apparently Nintendo is like, oh no, a 17-year-old modeling? Oh, that's not appropriate. So we're just gonna up her age to 18, where it would be more appropriate for her to model. And we're gonna change her outfits. Wait, you're gonna do both? Why both? Why both? Why not just, leave her at 17 and put a t-shirt on her. I mean, okay. Or, bump her up to 18 and leave her in her, bikini top. Because she's doing a swimsuit commercial, or no, it's not swimsuit. What is it? It's like a refreshing beach-going soft drink commercial or something like that. Weird choices. Like there's one section. I think most of the changes were Chapter 2, where the modeling was changed from sexy but pretty tame swimsuit modeling to just fashion modeling, to the point where the story kind of stops making any sense. I mean, the whole idea is Tsubasa is our main protagonist. She's The woman who runs the agency used to be a model of that stripe herself, and she gets kidnapped. So Tsubasa's like, oh, I don't want to, I couldn't possibly do that kind of modeling. I don't have the confidence. And the point is she gains the confidence. And then she does that whole, in the Yakuza games where Kiryu just, yanks his entire suit and jacket off to go bare-chested for a brawl. The funniest part of all of the Yakuza games. The best part of all of the Yakuza games. Just, alright, time for us to fist fight. Wearing a buttoned-up shirt and a suit jacket, and he just goes, whip, bare chest. Is the funniest damn thing. It will never not be funny to me. Tsubasa does the exact same thing. She's like, alright, for the love of my friends and all this stuff, I can do this. Whoom! And she's standing there in a swimsuit. Is it like a particularly inappropriately racy swimsuit? No. No, it's just a bikini with frilly bottoms. Full back, too. I mean, it's sexy, sure. But, I mean, weird choice by Nintendo. So what it does now is she's like, so she's fully dressed. She's like, so in the censored version, she's like, okay, I can do this. Whip! And she's just wearing different clothes. It's the weirdest damn thing. It doesn't make the game worse. It doesn't harm the gameplay. It's just dumb. It's just unmotivated and stupid. It's like, no one asked for this. And anyone who was genuinely put off by a 17-year-old in a bikini, I don't think would be mollified by these changes. Because here's the funny thing, is that particular sequence where she yanks off her clothes and she's, haha, I'm confident enough to do a bikini shoot. Haha! Marvel at my frilly bikini bottoms. Oh, that's not appropriate. We've got to put her in full clothes. She's in a bikini in other portions of the game. So, I don't know. It just, Nintendo was having a day. I don't know. It's never made any damn sense. I think that, for me, well, I won't speak for everyone. For me, that's the biggest problem. Is that it's completely nonsensical. It doesn't address an actual problem. And it's not just about cheesecake, much as I love cheesecake. In, what's the name of the game? I'm thinking it's a Fatal Frame game. Oh, it's Fatal Frame. Fatal Frame Maiden's Curse of Black Water or something like that. The one that was on the Wii U. In the original game, there are 2 lingerie outfits that the characters can wear. Nintendo changed those to, I think, Zero Suit Samus and something else. Princess Peach's dress or something. I don't remember. Here's the thing. The original underwear outfits were the dumbest, ugliest lingerie I think I have ever seen. On anyone, real or not. I mean, it was some really, really badly designed underwear. Oh, man. So changing that to Zero Suit Samus and Peach's dress, or whatever the other outfit was that a well, they're better costumes. They're certainly a lot cooler. But I still don't agree with that. Right? Because I haven't played the game all the way through. I played the demo, which was the first chapter, and had they ever dropped the price of that game, I would have bought it. But 8 years later or whatever, that game has never dropped in price. And so, Nintendo, you get $0. On the other hand, I think Maiden of Blackwater is being ported to like the PS4, so maybe Sony will get that money now. Nintendo. I mean, for crying out loud, you didn't even put it on sale for Halloween. Come on. From what I understand, the lingerie sets are part of the story. Like, it doesn't make any sense that these characters would be in Zero Suit Samus's suit or Peach's dress, whatever it was. Boop. There we go. So even in this case, where ugly underwear really needed to be fixed or replaced because, oh my god, it's the most ghastly lingerie I've ever seen. But I still believe that the proper thing to do would be to give people a choice. If you want the original outfits, you can have them as a free download. Right? We've released this game, we've patched out the originals and replaced them with Nintendo ones. They're better. In my humble opinion, those are better outfits than the dumb lingerie that was in there originally. But, for goofy dipsticks that look like this, who are, purists and require the original artistic vision, even if it was dumb, then, okay, here's the original outfits, you can download it, it's a free patch, it's fine. You can do that. More choices, not less. But I will say, better outfits in that version. I think all of what I'm trying to say is Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore. I think it's the version that's on the Switch. I think it's worth checking out. It can be paced a little slowly, but I found the battles in that game so much fun, and has such really cool ideas, and they're really flashy and just a joy to behold. I'd recommend checking it out. I think it's a lot of fun. So, let's see. What are we talking about in the chat? Momo says, I'm glad they brought that game to the PS4 and I can play it at a better frame rate. Yeah. It's still $40. Okay. Maiden of Blackwater is on there. Oh, is it already? It already came out? Okay. It wasn't part of the Nintendo Mini. But we'll get to that. But first, I want to talk about Baymax. So, Tuesday night, I watched episode 4, I believe, of Kamala Khan's show, Miss Marvel. And before I hit play on the Miss Marvel, I noticed that Baymax, the show, the series, the shorts were there. I had heard that this was going to be a thing. I had no idea it was actually coming out this week, though. Pardon me. Now, I saw Big Hero 6 in the theater, and I thought it was very okay. I enjoyed it. It's fun, it's funny, it's actiony. I have never had an inkling to revisit the movie, but I enjoyed watching it the first time, and if they made a sequel, don't know what you would call the sequel to Big Hero 6, Big Hero 6 2, they'd probably just do the colon thing, right? Big Hero 6, disaster in Neo-Tokyo or something. But I'd watch a sequel, sure. So when they said, hey, we're doing a little show on Disney Plus about Baymax. Baymax just runs around helping people. I'm like, okay. I'm sure it'll be cute. But I wasn't particularly interested in it. So I saw it on Disney Plus Tuesday night. I should watch that. Oh, it's only 6 episodes. Oh, they're only 10 minutes apiece. Great. Yeah, I could watch the whole thing in an hour. So I did. Later in the week. And I must say, Baymax is an absolute, utter delight. It is charming as all hell, and it is genuinely really funny. Humor, of course, is subjective. Your mileage may vary, but I laughed out loud multiple times during pretty much every episode. And even when I find something funny, you've seen me react naturally. I just do this for the most part. Occasionally you'll see me go, that's me laughing, right? Of course, occasionally I completely lose my shit and start and laugh myself to tears, as we've seen during the first two streams of Trails in the Sky, the third. It's probably that emotional repression thing I do, right? If I wasn't so emotionally repressed, I wouldn't have those tear-streaming outbursts of hysterical laughter on occasion. If I was letting out the emotions at a steady stream, instead of just bottling everything up inside, it wouldn't all come rushing out at once, right? But of course, better to let it all out with laughter than, putting my fist through a, monitor or a wall or something. Much, much, much better to laugh than to, punch things. So Baymax is, the show is exactly what you would think the setup. Each episode, Baymax just wanders around town until he hears someone need help with something, and he helps them. And that's the end of the episode. And at the end of the fifth episode, he gets, his battery drains and he just, falls over because he's out of power. And it's up to all of the people he's helped throughout the season to band together and search the town and find Baymax before he's blown up for story reasons. The sixth episode is probably the weakest, and it usually is when they try to tie everything together like that. It rarely ever works well, but they do it pretty well in this case. There's still some really great moments and some genuinely, for me anyway, laugh out loud moments. So, if you've seen the design of Baymax and you said, "Oh, that's cute," yeah, go ahead and watch Baymax. It's cute. I laughed. Cafe says, watched that movie last night. Momo says, yeah, saw Lightyear, very average. I would like to see Lightyear. I'm not going to go to the drive-in to see it. I'll wait until, I'm sure it'll hit Disney Plus. But yeah, I'd like to see it. One thing that's interesting is, I talked about this way back when the movie was announced, wondering how it would fit in with the Toy Story universe. And my theory was, is this the movie that Andy saw that made him a fan of that the toy line is based on? Like, this was a movie that was playing maybe a couple of years before the first Toy Story, and it's what the toy line's based on. Apparently so. One thing I mentioned at the time is I thought it would be neat if they made the effects like deliberately mid to early 90s, even though it's a CG generated movie. Give it those of the era effects. This is literally, so I guess maybe this movie, because it's a modern polished movie, right? So it's like, wow, the movie industry in the Toy Story universe was kicking ass in the early 90s. Wow. Or maybe it's not exactly the movie that Andy saw when he was, 10. It's the version of the movie that he remembers seeing, right? Because everything always looks better in our memory. And then when we actually go back and watch, we're like, oh man, this looks terrible. How did I ever look past these flaws? But it's an interesting premise and hopefully a fun space adventure movie. Haven't seen it, but yeah, I'll check out Lightyear at some point. I feel they gave too much away in the marketing, but oh well. I think I had a tweet about that, and I was like, looks fun. If you're already in the bag for this movie, maybe just don't watch any more marketing, because they're going a bit far with the spoilers. Well, not spoilers, but they're kind of giving too much of the story away in the trailer. Stuff that I think would be fun to experience as you watch the film for the first time. Or maybe that's just me. Chicago says, but what about laughing while punching things? Just me. Yeah. That's when the nice people in the lab coats come and take you away. To the funny farm, where life is beautiful all the time. Okay. All right. Now we are on to Nintendo. Nintendo heard our cries. Or did it? I don't know. It kind of feels like Nintendo was like, what? E3? Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Here. So we got a mini direct of third-party stuff. And it was, it's fine. It's fine. There was also an actual Nintendo Treehouse this year that Nintendo didn't really promote. There was one tweet about it, to be fair, but it wasn't mentioned in the direct. It wasn't on its website. I saw nobody talk about. None of the major entertainment websites that I saw anyway mentioned this. I'm sure Go Nintendo had a mention of it somewhere, but yeah, they had one treehouse for Live Alive, Live Alive. I'm not sure how that title's pronounced, but it's at a RPG game, which looks really cool. I downloaded the demo. I would like to play it, see if it's good. So they did one treehouse event, which I didn't watch because I have the demo, so I figure I'd just play that at some point. But so they had a partner showcase. They showed off Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, which, I mean, that came out 2 days after, so it was okay, I mean, not really any new information here. Nice to see, sure. Switch is getting the special edition of Nier Automata, which Nintendo made the game look better than Square Enix did originally. I'm not a... Nier Automata's great game, wonderful game, I recommend it, but I'm not surprised that it sold, not very well when it first came out, because Square Enix did not know how to market that game. They, took the ugliest, blandest areas of the... 3/4 of all the footage of the game was the desert. Why? There is actually color in the game. There's a lot of genuine beauty in that game. But you would never know that looking at Square Enix's marketing. No idea why they advertised the game the way they did. Nintendo did markedly better. I think you could still sell that game better than Nintendo managed. Nevertheless, I own the game, I played it, I quite like Nier Automata. So if you haven't played it, I can't say I'd recommend it on the Switch, but yeah, again, for me, the Switch is hey, do you want to play video games 3 years after they come out in much lesser quality? Then the Nintendo Switch is the console for you. But it is portable, so it's a big selling point for a lot of people. But yeah, Nier Automata, great game, recommend it. I, of course, cannot guarantee you'll love it, but I really liked it. Don't let the marketing fool you. It is not as dull as it looks. It's actually a lot of fun. Chicago says, kind of like when I popped in Transformers Beast Wars and realized how bad it looks. In my mind, it looked very high-tech and realistic. From Beast Wars 1996, I think. Yeah. That is a very old CG, fully CG show. And especially the first season. They really improved in the second and third seasons, but oh man, of course the second and third seasons are 13 episodes and the first season was full 26. But man, that first season, of course, another thing that really helps is they did the trans metals or something like that. In the first season of Beast Wars, the gimmick was animals that turn into robots instead of cars and stuff. But in 1996, or probably 95 when they started producing the show, rendering realistic looking animals, especially on a TV budget and schedule, impossible. And it shows. I mean, watching Dinobot just kind of God, the animation's so stiff. There's no contact shadows. Everything's kind of floating on everything. But they do... I love Beast Wars, don't get me wrong. I don't know if any of it's visible behind me, but... let's see, what shelf is it on? Oh, yeah. Can you see it? Oh, it is just barely off-screen. Like, all my Transformers stuff is, like, right there. I mean, I could move the camera a little bit. Yeah. There we go. That right there is all the Generation 1 Transformers and Beast Wars and Beast Machines is over there. Love me my Transformers. But yeah, whoops. You go back and it looks a little rough. Still some great stuff. Episode, was it 34, Code of Hero, where Dinobot dies? Yeah, man, that's a tearjerker of an episode. They do some good stuff in that series. Exile is talking to Chicago, so okay. It's what we had. I enjoyed Rat Trap more than... Oh, Rat Trap's funny. What's like Scott something did the voice for... He did Rat Trap and Dinobot and Waspinator and I think Silverbolt too. Scott McNeil maybe? Something. I'm sure someone will look it up and tell me. Great show. I really enjoyed it. Granted, I was, 16 at the time, which it's still a little old for that show, but, I was a big fan of, Generation 1 Transformers. I was, 5, 6 years old when that was in its main run. I saw Transformers the movie in the theater. I also saw the Rainbow Bright movie in the theater. So, I mean, I saw a lot of stuff in the theater. Anyway, let's see. Jared says the first part of Nair is the desert. Well, I mean, the first part is the shooter segment that's over the ocean and then goes to an island with a giant. I mean, it's concrete and steel, but it's certainly a much more color contrasty than the brown desert. From there, you go to the ruined city, which is a lot of gray buildings and broken concrete, but it's also overgrown with plant life. There's a lot of greenery there, and then you go out into the desert. So I mean, it's not like there aren't it's not misrepresentative of that area of the game, and I don't begrudge them from showing that area because you have that fun little surf down the side of sand dunes on your feet kind of thing. But the original Square Enix marketing didn't show off very many other areas. It's like they were afraid to admit that there's actually color in the game, or that there's really cute, endearing characters in the game, or that it's really great combat in the game, or that there's lots of different modes and different ways to play the game. There's a lot of variety in the game. And it's a shame, because I think if that game had been marketed differently, it would have sold a lot better, and lots more people would have enjoyed it. Alas, there are people, gamers, who have not enjoyed Nier Automata, and it's all Square Enix's fault for marketing it poorly. Okay, so Lorelei and the Laser Eyes is a 3D puzzle adventure game. Looks like it's deliberately trying to ape more of a PS1 visual aesthetic. But it's got a nice style to it, a nice macabre tone, and I like puzzles, so it might be neat. Super Bomberman R2, sequel to Super Bomberman R. Do you like Bomberman? Do you think he's super? Are you a particular fan of that letter of the alphabet? Are you like, yeah, all the other, the 25 other letters, they can go jump in a lake. R is where it's at. Perfect letter. Best letter. Then maybe I've never cared for Bomberman, so. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection includes all 10 games. No. No, it doesn't. It includes all 6 games. Because, am I counting right? Yeah, because it was 3, 4, 5, and 6 that started doing that Pokemon Black and White, X and Y, Star Silver, Gleaming Sapphire bullshit. You know, they started doing, you know, Mega Man Battle Network 3, Team Colonel, and Battle Network 3, Team Proto Man. Or maybe that's 5, I don't know. You know, where it's the exact same game, where they just switched out some of the characters and dialogue, but it is exactly the same game. There's like a couple differences in the battle chips, but it's the same game, they're just selling it to you twice. No, it's not 10 games, it's 6. And it's both versions. Very slight differences between the two versions of 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ooh, I hate that. I'm so glad so far no game publisher has done that shit to a series I care about. Oh, man. Because, like, what if like Yakuza 8 came out and it was like Yakuza 8 Dragon Edition and Yakuza 8 Goldfish Edition. And they're like exactly the same game, but they have like a couple different characters, like, you know, there's like 3 or 4 different side stories or something, and, you know, oh, that would piss me off. I might actually say, you know what? I'm out. Nope. Big Yakuza fan. No, but no, you ruined it for me. I ain't doing it. No. I have my pride. Oh, you stopped at the desert? And Jared says, didn't enjoy it because of the lack of color, stopped at the desert. Too depressing for me. No, that's true. Definitely a game that's not... It is definitely a... The story can be a bit of a bummer. It's a very melancholy game. It's definitely the Debbie Downer of video games at times. So again, Nier Automata, I love it. A lot of people love it. Not for everyone though. Jared's not wrong to feel that way about the game. It can be kind of depressing. So, sorry you didn't like it. But, you know, that's the way it goes. We can't all like everything. Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo says, and we still don't know whether we're getting the content complete versions of 4 and 6 of Mega Man Network, Battle Network. I'm not even sure what that would entail. I'm not as familiar with the game, so. Cafe Fox says, love Mega Man, never had interest in Battle Network games. I actually like the Battle Network games. I think they're a fun spin on the formula. I really hate the characters, though. I like the gameplay. I think that whole chip battle system is really neat. But Lan and Yai and Susan and Jeremy are all lame, terrible characters that I don't like. I don't like the characters or the story of the game, but I think the gameplay is... I mean, it's very different from regular Mega Man, but for what it's trying to be, I think it does it pretty well. But yeah, I don't like the character story, so I never got into the games. Also, you pull that Pokemon horse poopy, and I will just piece right on out. Let's see, what's next? Pac-Man World Repack. Apparently, we're redoing Pac-Man World. Okay. Blanc is a game about a fox and a deer. I'm sure this one will end on an up note. But it's got a very interesting art style, a very pencil sketch. It's black and white, very pencil sketchy look. Kind of like Mad World, if you remember that game from back on the Wii. Although this uses a lot more shades of gray, so you can actually discern what the environment is supposed to be. I thought Mad World didn't work because they committed too hard to the visual style, and it was a lot of times just really difficult to parse the environment itself. Not a bad game, but I think it may have been limitations of the technology at the time. It was 2007 or 8 or something like that, and it was on the Wii. This one, Blanc, really easy to read the environment. I think that's because of the shading and texturing they're doing. It's all still black and white and shades of gray, but it looks really nice. Maybe it's fun too. Don't know. Didn't really get a good sense of actual gameplay, but it certainly looks neat. Return to Monkey Island. Hey, remember Monkey Island? Fun puzzle adventure game where it's returning with a new art style that I honestly don't like, but it looks kind of it looks like the early Flash animations where the 2D character is rigged in different pieces. So you have an independent head and body and arms, and they all are animated, kind of like a puppet. It's you watch the trailer, you'll get what I mean. I think for some people they'll really enjoy the style. For me, I'm like, it's not speaking to me. But it looks like the humor's gonna be there, and so it should still be a fun game, even if, like me, you don't appreciate the visual style. Kudos for going bold with a new art style, though. That's not an easy choice to make, because someone like this guy, there's always going to be some jackass out there who, I don't like it. It doesn't look good to me. But hopefully it plays well, because Monkey Island is it's a rightful classic of the point and click genre. Then we got some details on Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which I really appreciate what the game's trying to do, but I'll be honest, the first game I lost interest somewhere in Chapter 2. Although this game seems to be shaking up the format a bit, so maybe the sequel will grab me harder, more gently. I don't know. Ubisoft had its own little digital event talking about Sparks of Hope, and did they apologize for being a company that regularly abuses its staff and covers that up? No, it didn't. So it's gonna keep doing that. Just they were shy to say that, but I'm not shy of pointing that out every single time I talk about Ubisoft, because they perpetuate a culture of harassment and abuse, and they protect and cover up perpetrators of such abuse. And the CEO of the company, Yves Guillemot, not mispronouncing it on purpose, the guy's a scumbag. It's not why I'm mispronouncing his name, I'm just very bad at French. But, I didn't know. Well, I mean, you've been there for 30 years, dude, so you either knew, and you definitely knew, which makes you complicit, or you're incompetent. Either way, you shouldn't have that job. That aside, Sparks of Hope looks nice. And I'll keep my eye on it, and maybe I'll give it a try. Let's see, what are we talking about? Jared says, not much of a fan of post-apocalypse. As I read that as not much of fun. I'm like, yeah, post-apocalyptic settings, usually not fun. But, yeah, if you're not a fan of post-apocalyptic settings, Nier Automata is probably not going to be you, because it It's exactly where it's set. The premise is humanity's gone. Well, they all pissed off to the moon, and so the Earth is, run by robots now, and it's all deep meditations on the meaning of life and humanity and deep heady stuff that is definitely not going to be for everyone. But I do think it's worth giving a try. I mean, if you already know, you know what, post-apocalyptic stuff, not my bag, fair enough. But, if aside from that you saw the trailers and like, well, that looks dull, consider giving it a chance. I'm glad I did. Unless they've removed it, there's a demo on the PlayStation Store at least. Give that a try, because I tried that on a lark, on a whim, and that's what sold me on the game. So give the demo a try. See what you think. Where are we? Little Noah, Scion of Paradise. I don't know. It's a game. I think it released the day of the Direct, so I don't know. Didn't really interest me. Railgrade is looks like kind of like Railroad Sim or something, or it's like you've seen Mini Metro, right? It looks like that except with train tracks, and it's full 3D and not as abstract. It could be cool. Not for me, but could be cool. RPG Time: The Legend of Wright is either another one of those games that's an RPG that takes place in someone's notebook on an actual tabletop. I don't know if it's the same game that keeps changing its name, or if there's like 3 or 4 different games that all have the same idea. I think it's a cool concept. I don't know if any of them ever actually came out, or if it's just one game that keeps that just rolls in front of me every year or so, and I can never remember what it's called. But it's a neat idea. Sonic Frontiers still looks like garbage. Sorry, it looks really dull and boring. Maybe it's just like Nier Automata, it's just not being sold well. I don't know. But that's on the publisher. If the game's good, show me. Then again, I'm not Sonic's target audience. I've never liked any of the Sonic games, so maybe I'm just hopeless when it comes to Sonic. I don't know. I like the character. I like the design. I think it's an iconic mascot character. I've just always thought all of the games are just genuinely bad. Even the first few games, I don't think they're good at all. Yes, I've played them. The original Genesis games. I've never liked them. Even as a teenager, I thought they were bad. I'm in the minority on that one. Disney Dreamlight Valley. So, Animal Crossing, but instead of animal characters, it's all Disney characters, is kind of what I'm getting from the trailer. And, I mean, okay. If big fan of Disney, and you want to do a Disney life sim, there's one. Could be cool. Live Alive, Live Alive, Live Alive, Live Alive. I have no idea. Maybe I should actually watch the Treehouse event to see how that title is pronounced. Looks neat. It's an RPG. I'm looking forward to playing the demo. Doraemon Story of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdom. I have never liked any incarnation of Doraemon that I've seen. I really don't like the character design. And I know people who like swear by some of the Doraemon stuff. They're like, it's charming, it's funny, it's poignant, it's wonderful. I'm like, it may be, but I just can't get past the character design. There are just some properties where the character design I find so off-putting that I'm sadly just not willing to give it a chance. Or I'm less inclined to give it a chance. I mean, if it was a Patreon reward and someone's like, dude, Andrew, for my Patreon reward, I want you to review the Doraemon movie. Okay. But on my own initiative, I'm so far not going to bother. Nothing's spoken to me from that franchise. Literally says Joey Jojo Jr.'s Shabadoo. Literally every bad thing that happens is because people connect even the most mundane crap to the internet. Is this a Battle Network thing? I think that, yeah, if you're talking about Battle Network, one of the gimmicks in Battle Network is you just wander around and you can jack, let me make sure, in, right. You jack in and jack out. You don't jack on or jack off. Although I'm the kind of asshole who would actually write a script to replace all of the dialogue so that you're constantly jacking off the internet. Mega Man, jack out! And I replay, Mega Man, jack off! Okay, Lan. Tee. Because, yes, I'm 42, but I am still that damn immature. Anyway, the weird thing about the game is Lan, yes, his name is Lan, wanders around and you can jack into the internet from all kinds of different locations, like your computer at home. Or you can just walk into everyone's house in Simi Valley. I don't remember the... Oh man, what is the major location in those games? Lan's hometown, what is it? I can't remember. But so you can jack into various computers, but you can also jack into like the blackboard at school, and I think like the fire alarm. I think you can jack into your doghouse, and there's this squirrel statue in the park that you can jack into for some reason. It's weirdest damn game. But yeah, basically every bad thing that happens in that game is because people plug everything into the internet, even things they really shouldn't be. Chicago says, Mad World was hard to discern depth because it was black and white except for all the red blood. There was actually some yellow they used in the game to, I think, to try and mitigate some of that depth perception and the ability to read environments. I get what they were going for, is stark black and white just with bright red splashes of blood. I get it. Didn't quite work because the environment was just very hard to visually parse. Jared says, much more of a fan of games about ancient civs technology. Well, Live Alive, whatever it's called. My understanding is it has like 8 scenarios, each with different characters that take place in different eras of time. So some of them are ancient past, like one is the Old West, one's a caveman type of, so maybe you fight with dinosaurs or something, and then one's far-flung future, so there might be some stuff in there that interests you. I just like saying Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo. Dreamlight Valley is going to sell like crazy, I bet. Oh, yeah, I would not surprise me if it did. Even if it's really bad. And I hope it's not bad. I hope it's just a great Disney life sim. You know, Animal Crossing. But all your villagers are your favorite Disney characters. Yeah, print money. Hopefully it's a great game. It doesn't interest me, but not interesting me is not a reason to not do a game, right? You know, I'm mature enough to understand and accept that not everything is for me. Alright, moving on. Minecraft Legends. I don't know if there's anything anyone could ever do with Minecraft that would make me care. I don't care about Minecraft Legends. I don't... I have played Minecraft with people who love Minecraft, and I don't get it. Like, I'm sitting there and watching them engrossed and having fun, and I'm like, I don't understand how you're enjoying this. There are just some games, like, there's some TV shows, like Beavis and Butthead. I don't get that show. I genuinely do not understand the entertainment value of that show. I acknowledge it. I accept it. I just don't understand it. I've seen several episodes of Beavis and Butthead from way back in the early 90s. I don't get it. Oh well. As such, I'm no interest in the upcoming movie. Where are we? Dragon Quest Treasures. I love me my Dragon Quest, but gonna need to know a little bit more about this one before I dive in. Although I really did enjoy the Dragon Quest Swords spin-off on the Wii. I liked it. I thought it was fun. So, maybe Dragon Quest Treasures will be a fun little treasure hunting, monster collecting spin-off game in the Monster Hunter Dragon Quest universe. Maybe. We'll see. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Really don't care. It's just Fire Emblem is not for... Which is funny because I really love Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which is a cross between Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem. And I'm not getting any of the Fire Emblem... I'm not getting any of the Shin Megami Tensei references either, really. I mean, as a gamer, I am tangentially aware of the franchises and some of the iconography and general premise and characters of both. So I can recognize some stuff, but Fire Emblem just has never been for me. No Man's Sky, they're still selling that, huh? No Man's Sky is like Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Grand Theft Auto 5, games that just won't go away. They're just always there. Whenever a new system comes out, like that one with the crank, you can guarantee that Oblivion, No Man's Sky, and Grand Theft Auto 5 will be on it. they're just these are the games we will port to everything. I remember when... it looks like there's actually stuff to do in the game now, but man, I remember for years being confused by No Man's Sky. I watched the original marketing for the game. I'm like, okay, what do you do, though? Nothing, as it turned out, which is why a bunch of people really didn't care for the game. And then they're like, oh, we should probably put a game in here somewhere. I hear they've done a nice job actually putting a game in the game, so cool. Plague Tale Requiem, cloud version. So I think I actually have a Plague Tale. I should probably play that at some point. Looks like I hear it's good. Looks like it could be good. Captain Velvet Meteor, The Jump Plus Dimensions. I don't even know. It wasn't a very good trailer, and it was only like 11 seconds long, so I couldn't even really get a read on what that was. It's more of the montage section of the show. Portal Companion Collection, Portal 1 and 2 on the Switch. Yay. I like both Portal games quite a bit. I think the races. Harvestella. It's another farming sim. I'm sure it's a good one. It's another one. Let's see. Jared says, do you like Legos? Minecraft is like Legos with more creative power. As a tool to build things out of blocks, sure. Yeah, I mean, if that's not what... I never really played with Legos. Lincoln Logs were so much cooler. But I was never a Lego kid, right? And it's not like I don't like crafts. I've done basket weaving and thought it was fun. Do I have a... Yeah. Oh, crap. Hang on, show and tell, but my needle's stuck in the drawer, so hang on. There we go. I knitted this myself, and then I stopped. That's why it's incomplete. I've basket weaving, knitting. Could never get the hand of crochet or macrame. I enjoyed the putting together the Labo stuff. I thought that was fun. But yeah, Lego's never done it for me. And if there's no intrinsic joy for you building things out of Lego, then Minecraft is probably not going to appeal to you. So yeah, if it's a creative tool to build things for you, that's great. I get that, not for me. But there actually is a game in Minecraft, and it doesn't appeal to me. So, Chicago says Lego games look better and more fun than Minecraft to me. Well, I mean, the Lego games, if you're talking about the like Lego Star Wars and Lego insert IP here, very different. I mean, the Lego games generally, most of the Lego games are not about building or creativity, right? Minecraft, one way to play it is, and I'm not saying there's no joy to be had in it. I'm just saying it doesn't bring me joy. And as Marie Kondo would say, well then don't play it, dummy. I'm sure she'd phrase it exactly like that, too. The joy of packing, sorting out it. What was the Marie Kondo's show called? I did a debut review for it, and I had to stop it like 3 times, and then I had to call my sister because I hated the show so much. I had a really negative reaction to the Marie Kondo show. I think that's on my channel somewhere if you want to watch it. I think it's just funny because why would anyone have such a viscerally negative reaction to this show? But I totally did. Not something to be proud of, but it is pretty funny. Let me fix this real quick. Okay, and now last thing is Persona is coming to the Switch. Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden Edition, Golden, something like that, and Persona 5 Royale is Persona 5 Royale is coming out October 21st. The others are coming soon, so yay! I hear Persona 5 is very good. In fact, Brian, for this year's Patreon reward, wanted me to play Persona 5 Royale. So we're going to do that tomorrow on the Sunday stream. I got Persona 5 Royale, and we'll play that tomorrow. All of it. Won't stop till we're done. It's not a very long game, I hear. I hear you can get into you can get through it in a single sitting. So I'm very confident about this. Did Nintendo kind of skip E3 this year? Well, we're into July. So seems kind of like it. Hey Nintendo, are things not going so well with Breath of the Wild 2? Or Metroid Prime 4? Or Bayonetta 3? Or any of these other games that we're really looking forward to that we've been anticipating for years and there's been no information on them? What? Let's see, Jared says Royale and Golden are the special versions, extra DLC stuff. Yeah, I hear that, Jared says it's a 100-hour game for normal people. And if you watch the Trails in the Sky streams, you know I'm not a normal RPG gamer. I take a really long time. So yeah, Persona's probably 100+ hours for me. Yeah, we're not gonna stream the whole thing. We'll play it for 5 hours or so and see what I think. Because I've never played any of the Shin Megami Tensei games, and I've never played any of the Persona games. The best I've done is Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE. That's as close as I've been to Persona. So, but I'm excited to check it out. If nothing else, P5 is very stylish. I mean, even if I come away from the experience going, you know what, I wasn't into the gameplay, the combat system didn't appeal to me, I don't like the characters, the story I didn't find particularly interesting. At the very least, it's a very cool looking game. It's got a great aesthetic. And I hear the music's really nice too, so I'm excited for the game soundtrack too. So, yeah, I'm excited to check it out tomorrow. Carapo, hello. You joined us right at the very end of the podcast, but glad you could be here. Excuse me for a moment. All right. So, that, my very dear viewers, is the plan. So, hope to see you all tomorrow at noon Pacific Standard Time for Brian's Patreon reward video of playing some of Persona 5 Royale. By the way, those of you who don't know, I have a Patreon. Anyone who supports me on Patreon for the absurd amount of money of $10 a month for an entire year, I'll do a video for you. I will review a movie, or play a video game, or cook a meal, or eat a jackfruit. Those really big things cost like $25. It looks like a melon. I don't think I'd like a jackfruit, but I mean, if someone really wanted me to taste test a jackfruit, I mean, you support me on Patreon for $10 a month for an entire year. I will accommodate you. I will, send me a list of virtuous personality traits, and I will just extol the virtues of you. Which is the first video I did for Brian, which is kind of a joke video, but the general idea of the video was I got a picture of Brian, and I just fawned over his dashing, adorable looks for, a couple of minutes. So if that sounds like fun, and you have money to literally burn, I mean, that's something you could do with it. But, either way, just in case anyone was wondering, the Patreon money I use for the stuff regarding the channel. So, let me see if I can do this without being noisy. So the new microphone I got, that came out of the Patreon funds. When my computer blew up, Patreon funds helped subsidize building a new PC, which was a lot more expensive than I really wanted it to be because, graphics card shortage and everything. The charity event, the Extra Life charity event every fall, all the games and the stuff that I get for that's funded by you lovely lot at Patreon. So that's what the money goes towards, if you're wondering. You don't have to support me on Patreon. All my stuff is free. Podcasts on Saturday, streams on Sunday, occasional other videos. That's all there for you. The Patreon is there if you want. And if you have money to burn and support me at $10 a month for an entire year, I'll do a video for you. And Lou, you've got 2 videos coming. Let's see. Unique music, says Jared. Chicago says, we'll try to make it. Interested in P5. I've played Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux and have enjoyed it. I don't remember that. I'll have to look that up. Jared says, I have a couple ideas for you in a few months. Yeah, your anniversary is, let's see. Where's my list? November 28th, I believe. So, towards the end of the year, yeah. All right. Yep. So, yeah, definitely just when the time comes, let me know. Or, I mean, you can always, when you know, let me, if it's something that requires prep. For example, Brian's request was Persona 5. I had to, get the game, which I bought a little while ago and actually just arrived. This arrived. This arrived this morning. I was like, ah, man, is it not going to get here by Sunday? Because I bought it a little while ago, and it just got stuck in transit somehow. But got it now. So anyway, that's it, everyone. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. And I hope you'll join me for some Persona 5 tomorrow at noon Pacific Standard Time. And till then, have a lovely evening. Eat your vegetables, brush your teeth, and sleep well. Yes. Yes. Take care, everyone.